Ohio.
Ohio.
We have a new person who's joined our podcast. So, yes.
Of the Simp Club.
Who permanently joined our Simp Club. We're so happy to introduce to you all. Would you like to say your name?
Oh, yeah, I can say my own name. I thought you were really it was like, drum roll.
I was thinking that, and I was going to say your name, and I was like, oh, what if she wants to introduce herself? So I second guessed myself.
Yes, it's me, Migi.
Welcome.
Migi.
And if you're also watching the video on YouTube, you can see there's a little bit of a glow up. I mean, I wanted to address the Sailor Guardians in the room. And
Makeover.
that is actually thanks to Migi, who painstakingly went through everything on our channel and fixed it.
Give us quite the glow up.
I like doing makeovers.
And you're really good at it. I mean, you did that with our other channel, Grumble Gamers.
Yeah.
Loved all the work you've done on that. You've done several of our thumbnails to boot, along with the artwork and headpieces and stuff like that. And we definitely really wanted you to do the anime section of our channel as well, along with you being here too. So
I know, right? Because I mean, if you're weebs, you want to hang out.
Exactly.
And you love anime. And others.
I do love anime.
It's always perfect.
If I had better memory for things, I would seem like a better fan, but I don't.
No worries.
I was thinking, though, talking to you guys the other day, I think part of it is that I usually only watch things like once. That doesn't help you remember things.
I don't remember things very well when I just watch them once either, so I totally get it.
Yeah, you were mentioning these animes that you've watched like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, you watched it more than one time?
We're a bit obsessive.
We're dedicated to the craft.
And honestly, when they're airing, we watch it in Japanese first, and then we check out the English dub when that comes out, so...
Nice.
So we're already kind of watching it twice, but then we also watch it, multiple times, because we're like, hey, you know what,
So I'm in the mood to watch this again. So yeah, we're a bit crazy.
Nice. Well, that's a cool thing to do anyway, to watch it in Japanese and then English, because then you get to see little differences.
Yeah, there's definitely differences. It's really neat.
It's especially because of the language barrier.
Right.
I think dub sometimes can get away with just, not making stuff up, but just kind of changing things that are because obviously
they gotta make it make sense to our English ears.
Yeah. Exactly. Like there's like just certain like idioms and stuff, and they have to move it around to be like, well, we would say this, and that's basically the thing they're meaning to say.
Yeah, exactly. I will say, like, to give you an example of like differences from like the Japanese to English in a one way that's maybe more positive English, is that when you do comedy, like, let's say the funny stuff in Dan Da Dan, but Japanese is pretty funny, but then you get to the English and you're suddenly busting a rib because they use our lingo rather than just saying wiener or like that stuff.
There's this, it's mostly kind of kiddie, but it's like when people make a show that's for kids, but it's also for the adults watching with the kids. And it's called Sergeant Frog. I don't know.
My brother Jake,
yes, I've watched Sergeant Frog. Oh man, that's
it's so fucking funny. And there's literally parts where there's like one part where they make a joke, and they're like, if you just bothered to learn Japanese, you would have gotten how funny that joke really was. That's
awesome. I love it when stuff like shows or anything breaks the fourth wall.
100 Girlfriends did that a lot. I love that so much.
I loved that one moment where they made a fucking Skyrim reference. Just must have been the wind. It's just like,
Have you seen the second season?
I don't know. I'm gonna guess possibly not.
Well, they added 5 more girls, so I guess you would know if there was more girlfriends in the lineup.
I mean, until they get to 100, their title is a lie.
Yeah, that is true. All right, without going too spoilerly, however you say that word, I'll just say that they even in the show, they apologized to Crunchyroll for what they did. It
was really funny.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Because they did something like very like, oh god, I can't believe we did this on.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
they set up a whole little press conference and everything.
Oh,
like,
that's funny. Well, I mean, sometimes anime definitely, I mean, they have that whole genre of ecchi for a reason.
I don't even think you could really call what they did ecchi.
Oh, no.
Very pervy. But
Well, it was gross too.
it was gross.
Oh no!
Yeah.
As bad as the drunken chainsaw man kiss thing.
Oh
Oh
god.
my god, I can't even watch that part.
I can always look for at least a little bit, but that's because of my horror movie training.
See, it's so funny because I do great with a lot of stuff. It's just the most random things that I'm like, I can't look at this.
I'm that way too with eyes, fingernails. I don't know why. It's just like anything to do with fingernails being pulled or eyeballs being
Tampered with
in any way or form. That's why I don't like contacts. I do not want to put anything in my eyeballs. I hate it.
See, I can be absolutely ooged out, but I don't have to look away, if that makes any sense.
That's great. Have you ever seen the show called Bizarre ER?
I have not.
Oh my gosh, I was like watching that like all the time when I first met Connor. And
You showed me
used
some
to
and I couldn't
be
stomach
a-
it.
Yeah, I used to be a house sitter, so I was just sitting there eating my dinner. Connor was like, "How can you eat while watching this?" I'm like, "What?"
I mean, my family would frequently end up having spaghetti or like cherry pie while watching The Walking Dead, so
See, yeah.
That's probably tame though.
Probably tame compared to real injuries.
I'm just saying that the food choice was not the
Spaghetti
best
Tuesdays on
choice.
Wednesdays. Yeah.
And it was never intentional. It was always like, oh my god, why do we have cherry pie with this? You know?
Oh,
What,
it's
you don't
so
like cherry pie on Walking Dead Sundays?
suspicious looking?
I think we'd make jokes of like, that probably is some kind of cherry thing and not blood, you know?
Yeah.
Eyebrows.
So you should also know we like to talk about what's currently like going on, like whether we have like a fun little thing that happened to us during the week to like start off, and like maybe what we're currently like interested in. I don't know. But,
Yeah, I mean,
We'll
we can
get
talk
into
about
all
like
that
our
too.
week and
But-
stuff.
yeah, we really want to give you the full Simpin experience.
I don't know
Get
how
you
many
on board.
episodes you've watched before this, so
They've been
I
chaotic.
watched / listened, because there's not really a watching thing, but I listened to like 3 of them, because I was just started at the beginning.
Oh, nice.
you got some catching up to do. We're at episode 11 now.
I know!
Hey,
They're long, though.
they are long, yes. I usually just put.
That's why they're
But they're
podcasts.
long.
That's why you can get this
Also-
on Spotify.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I say I listened to 3 of them, I meant today. I
Today-
listened
Oh
to
my
3 of
God.
them in a row.
You did that many today.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just listened to them while I was like doing chores and stuff. That's the benefit of a podcast. You guys want to
Mm.
know a fun fact / lore about my name, by the way?
You,
Go
please
ahead.
do.
Yeah, because I feel like it's important on a weeby kind of podcast with my name being Migi and all
Oh yeah.
to clarify. It is not Migi like the word for right in Japanese. That's how I tell people to remember it and pronounce it if they know Japanese, but it's actually because my husband has been a huge World of Warcraft nerd his entire life, and when we first got together, he got me into World of Warcraft. And his username is Magungo. And I wanted a username that matched him, but still had me be my own person.
Yeah.
So I made Migigo,
Oh,
so that it would be like the like cuter, more feminine version, and it just got shortened to Migi.
I love that.
I like the
That's
history
so
on that one.
cute.
We don't really have a history on. I don't even remember why I
I-
named myself Crazed.
My history with Witchly is because I wrote a trilogy of books, and they other indie authors wanted me to get onto this indie authors be seen movement, and I had to create a YouTube channel and make a video and upload it there. And so I did, but I was like, wait, I don't want just my name to be my YouTube channel. What should I be called? And I'm like, oh, okay, so I chose Witchly because my books are about witches. And then I chose Peculiar because I was obsessed with Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, that series. So I was Witchly Peculiar. So that's my history.
Nice.
See, I think mine was just my gamer tag on Xbox 360, so I just stuck with that for over a decade and hasn't changed since. So never.
Dude, my username on Xbox 360 was T-15 seconds.
I love that.
That's perfect.
I was Cool Squid on some account. I can't remember if it was Microsoft or something, but I just remember it was a random name they just gave me, and I was like, I like it. Cool Squid.
Well, I keep calling you Dawn for Dawn Dragon art because that's
That's how you
Uh,
originally knew her.
The story behind that was going to be my superhero name since I was like 7. And they tell you to be what you wanted to be when you were 7 will make you the happiest.
Aw. I never heard that when I was
So-
7.
Yeah, I wanted to be a superhero when I was a kid.
Aw.
Therefore, I just named my my art business after my superhero name.
Yeah, Scarlet Hollow's been fun playing with you. I like that's a whole. For those who don't know, that's a whole visual novel on that's still being made.
Visual.
Which that kind of fits with the anime podcast vibes in a way, just because visual novels.
Yeah, so like this first section, we could pretty much talk about anything.
Anything.
It's like just to like get to know each other a bit better and to like let
Like loosen up.
our listeners, just
Nice.
get comfortable and feel like they're one of us. Hopefully, that's the goal.
We're
at least.
one of you.
Son of a-
Yeah.
We're just like you. We have jobs. We pay our taxes. We also do weird shit during the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're adults, but we still feel like we're not necessarily adults, and adulting sucks.
We're somewhere in that
Adulting
zone.
does suck.
Adulting absolutely sucks.
It
And
does.
they don't make that clear enough. They
They-
just say like that children have wonder and believe in magic. That's not what it is. The
No.
adults are suffering from depression.
They certainly
But
are.
thank God they have alcohol.
That's the only thing keeping me sane.
See, I'm a teetotaler, which means I don't drink alcohol.
Hey, no worries. I know a lot of people who don't.
Yeah.
You're looking
Well,
at me
and-
like it's a bad thing.
No.
I'm not really a drinker also, but I drink like hard
He
cider.
enjoys the occasional frou-frou drink.
Okay, whatever you want
Right.
to just.
My family's
a
always
salad.
salad. Sweet
Don't
drinks.
you mean the most tasty you can get with alcohol drinks?
That's like
Thank you.
Kool-Aid, okay? I like my full-bodied wines. And
I'm
my
sorry, I'm not a
whiskeys.
beer drinker.
and my
I'm sorry, I don't like
scotches.
wine as much. I just like hard cider and maybe, like a scotch. And,
Yeah.
scotch.
No,
Sorry, a
You've
scotch and
never
coke or
had
something. I don't know.
scotch?
Whiskey and coke.
You
I don't
like
know.
rum and coke.
I like rum and coke. Those
Yeah.
are not bad.
Hey, you
Yeah.
like the sweet
No,
ones.
Mug and I are both just really sensitive to the flavor of alcohol.
Ah.
Like we could just always taste it.
I
And
love
knowing that it's not the best for you anyway, it's like, well, why would I do that?
No, that's totally understandable. So I get why people don't, but for me, I love it. I love the taste. I love it brings me a sense of calm, and I don't drink
Nice.
to get buzzed or anything. It's like a perfect way
Yeah.
to end my day.
Nice.
So yeah,
Yeah, I have a bunch of little things that keep me sane and make me calm. Ironically, coffee actually makes me calm.
that's great.
This is one of the things that makes me think I might have the ADHD. But just, like a warm, sweet, creamy drink, it's just like, oh, so good.
You're giving her the little
I-
cream.
I'm a black coffee person myself, but I do
That's
enjoy
fine.
a random sweet coffee from Starbucks or from Dutch Brothers.
Yep.
Yeah, those are good ones, but they got rid of my favorite flavor, so I'm like, no, I'll just
You love
have tea
amaretto.
there.
Oh,
I loved the amaretto
Ooh.
coffee.
You got cherry.
was-
that
So
sounds like it would be
good.
amazing.
It was the best. Having it iced. Oh no,
Nice.
I would totally have that every day and not miss my black coffee. But then all these
What about Sorry.
Oh no,
I don't
carry
mean to
on.
just talk right over it.
No, carry on. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, what about tea? Like that
Yeah.
could be a hot drink that you also add, like
Oh,
cream
yeah.
and sweet to.
I don't add cream and stuff to my tea. I like them as is. So I have a shit ton of tea.
We love
Connor
boba
can-
tea. I mean, that's
Oh
kinda
yeah,
like
that's
a-
fine.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
boba's good.
if I'm not gonna put like anything like that in there, I just like a nice hot. Oh, I will dip chocolate in my
She's-
tea.
She's so mature.
She's so mature.
I just have those a mature palate for foods. I guess.
She even looks
Drinks.
like it out of the three of our anime characters.
Mhm.
She's the mature, beautiful senpai.
She is.
You're very sweet.
You got me into cold foam recently, so
Oh, yeah.
I've just been doing that
He
on
loves
my drinks.
screamers, and I was trying to pick some up or like put some on our grocery list for him, and then I saw this cold foam one day, and it's like a whipped cream for the coffee. I was like, I bet he's gonna love this.
And I did, and I do.
I mean, I'll just eat straight up whipped cream. That's good too.
It's just
Yeah.
whipped cream on top of
It's
my
like a
coffee every
special
morning.
flavored whipped cream.
Yeah, I have Italian something.
It's Italian flavor.
Is it Italian sweet cream?
Yes, Italian. Yeah,
Yeah,
cream.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm cream forever. I think. I don't know. I've tried to wean off of it just to appease you more, but it's not. It's not. It's not
You
doing
don't
it
need
for
to
me.
appease me with your coffee drinking habits.
Well, it's. I gave it up.
You're drinking it for you, not her.
It's for your own enjoyment.
Exactly.
I must be sadistic. He's like, oh, try.
Well, I just thought I'd try it just to see. I'm like, what's all
Like,
the fuss
aw.
about?
So I started drinking coffee like every day since I was like 15, and coming from a not a very wealthy household, creamer was like hey, once in a blue moon when it's autumn, we'll get an autumn flavored creamer. And I was like, yeah. So I got used to drinking black coffee real quick, and then it's like, yeah, that's like how I start my day. That's what makes me feel awake. When I have a sugary coffee, I don't feel like I started my day. It's like I've had dessert. Where's my wake up?
Right, and I feel like I'm one of the only coffee drinkers that I'm like, I don't use it to wake up.
Oh,
I have it every morning because it's like a comforting ritual, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So for me, the coffee is just absolutely warm comfort, you know,
Yeah.
to like
I love
relax a bit in the morning.
that. Absolutely.
It does get me the edge off, because I'm going to work already, and I'm like, ugh.
So
Right.
It does
kickstart
help
your
if
day.
you've got a little bit of an edge of like,
Mm.
I didn't get good sleep and I'm grumpy and I don't want to do this shit. And at least I have this coffee and it's good.
Wow, it's the only good thing in my life.
Yeah. Sugar is my coping instead of alcohol with sugar.
I used to
I have
be a
the
major
sweet
sweet
tooth.
tooth. I have lost my sweet tooth over the years. Now I'm all potato chips and wine.
Well, hey, potato chips are great.
Oh, yeah.
Also, salty and then sweet makes them both better.
Mhm. I like how the salty foods will bring out the sweetness in the wine, and sweet foods will bring out the more alcoholic flavor in the wine. So it just depends on your preference.
Yeah.
Yeah. But enough about this stuff. What are we talking about?
I got really excited to hear the questions that you have prepared for me. So while I was listening to the first 3 episodes of your podcast and doing chores and stuff, I also was looking through a huge list of anime and writing down all the ones that I know I've seen and I generally either remember liking even if I don't remember all of the details, or that I really like. And I didn't write down every single anime I've seen. There were still some that I was like, I feel ambivalent towards this anime, so I'm not going to write it down. But I ended up making a list of 148 animes.
Oh,
That's
okay.
amazing.
We're gonna be here till dawn. Got it.
We should have a special getting to know Migi episode.
That should have been this episode, really.
Yeah, we decided to make this a Migi and
A watch party.
Yeah, a watch party episode.
Well, we can narrow it down.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying that I need to talk about all of them.
Oh, yeah.
I
No,
was just
no.
trying to make sure that I can look at them to remember, yes, I've seen that one. You know?
That's
And just get
amazing.
an idea. I was like, yay, I feel like less fake. I've watched at least 148 animes.
That was really cool. It makes me excited.
I
to
never have
learn.
sat down. I got to give props to you,
Yeah.
because I have not ever sat down and thought, how many anime did I watch in my entire lifetime? so
Maybe
far.
that's
It
something
took
we
it
could
took
do.
forever just scrolling through all of the pages of animes that exist and like trying
Oh,
to like
yeah.
and just reading them being like, I don't remember that name, don't know that name. I know that name. Did I like it? I think so.
So I could probably. Oh, wait, never mind. But in recent years, maybe not so. But starting from earlier years, I could probably remember most of the anime I've watched.
I don't think I could
up
remember
until
most because
now.
I watched also not just anime but cartoons.
I watched a lot of
Mhm.
cartoons too, but there were anime
Yeah, I didn't include, for
specifically.
example, like Avatar: Last Airbender or
Oh, yeah,
Korra
no.
because they're kind of
Those are
not
like
really anime.
they're inspired.
They're
by...
like a love letter to anime, but they're
Yeah.
not
very
they're not
Western
Asian in
inspired.
any way.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
so Witchley actually has a bunch of questions that she wrote down. So thank
Beautiful.
you for writing those down. Because I did not have time to do that.
Yeah, I needed them for help for questions. So I was like, okay, well, I might be able to look at some of them for like if there's questions about what I watched when I was a kid, I can at least know this is older, so probably that. You know?
So that is perfect. So yeah, if you watched our first episode, then you might know like all the things that we're probably going to be asking.
How that first episode, I still think about how I bitched at Sailor Moon like for a good hour and a
You
half.
both went, but you especially went on the biggest tangent.
I just had things to say.
Sometimes there are just characters that they suck.
They do.
All right, so what are your questions, Witchley, that you want to tell Miki that we could
Um,
kind of get to know her a little bit more, or at least the audience can get to know her a little bit more? Because I think we know her.
You'll both.
Both.
The audience and
Both.
you.
Both
is
is good. James.
Yeah, that's the way it was meant to be quoted. With two people saying it.
But put up Tulio and Miguel behind us when we say that. Okay, Migi. How or who got you into anime?
My mom got me into anime.
That
Because because she's been a weeb basically her whole life. She was telling me stories about how when she was like in college, like early college, late high school and stuff, going to like special parties where they would like projector this anime, you know. I think she might have seen Akira, to be honest, based off
Really?
of some of the shit she said.
wow.
You know?
Who hasn't seen
So-
Akira, really?
Yeah. So she's a pretty hardcore weeb. She still is. She
Oh,
watches
that's
anime all the time. All the time.
It's a lifestyle.
It is definitely her lifestyle.
I think that's a cool thing to like just bond with, you know. Like
It is.
obviously
it
you
is.
heard our stories, but I don't have a connection to that with my family. You know, gaming's a huge one with my family. Like my dad specifically, when I played like he got me into Diablo. Diablo 2
Nice.
specifically, and I love that whole series because of my dad, and it just means a lot. And I played WoW with him too. That was fun,
Cute.
you know, back in the day. So just those connections mean, you know, a lot to me,
Yeah.
and it's nice that you have something like that to even just bond with.
Yeah. My mom and I played video games together too growing up, so we had video games and anime. And
Oh,
that stuck with me my whole life.
It's the perfect
I'm
life.
still video games and anime.
I realized I watched a lot of anime, supposedly with my sister, but we had separate rooms in the early years, so it was really apart. So I was watching it alone.
We were breathing the same air. We were watching
We
Sailor
were in
Moon.
the same house. Now Sailor Moon.
We were
always
looking
watched
at the
together.
same moon.
Did you know the moonlight is the messenger of love?
Don't you start.
All right, fine.
All right.
Well, then what's your favorite anime then? Like, you know, since you obviously have over 140 plus anime on a list there, you must have one that really just speaks to you, and you've heard ours.
I do actually have one that really speaks to me. Normally, if you ask me that kind of question, like, what's your favorite literally anything? I'll usually be like, there's too many! How can you ask me that question?
Understand.
But, and I think I've told you this before, but it's So I'm a Spider, So What? And it's not even because of the anime. Like, cause like the anime, especially like near the end of it, gets a lot into like that 3D where it's really not very good modeling, and honestly it could look better, and they don't put enough budget into it.
Yeah.
But the story behind it is so fun, and mostly the main female character is just one of the best female characters in anything ever.
I have never seen it, and
Yeah,
I'm really
you
intrigued.
told us to watch it, and we might be watching it pretty soon. But we'll get to that
You
later.
can always watch it with me. That's cool.
I think that's the plan.
That might be possibly the plan.
Yeah.
So.
I actually started reading the light novel, which is where it actually came from. It's not one of the animes that comes from a manga. There is a manga, but the manga cuts things out and edits itself weirdly too.
Yeah.
So originally it's from a light novel, and so I've been reading that, and it's even better than the anime, but still,
the
it's
original source usually is, I found like, my favorite is the Apothecary Diaries, and that originally came from a light novel series too. And I've also told you about Seventh Time Loop. That also comes from a light novel series. So yeah, it's like all these gems. I love how they're adapting all these light novels.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I really like seeing that we're getting that now. Like, feels like they ran out of material, but they're just going on to a different genre, which is really cool.
There's amazing ideas in all those.
Yeah,
and
great.
Hearing that So I'm a Spider, So What is originally a light novel rather than a manga makes me even more interested in it.
Yeah, it is so good, specifically as a light novel. Like, I feel like the anime, I love the anime, but it doesn't really do the justice it could have in some regards, Yeah. I still want them to do more, because there's still more to be told. But, damn, it's good. And it just, for me, with movies, shows, stories, I'm always looking for those girl characters that I actually could connect with.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's almost a traumatic thing from a lot of things that I watched as a kid, because I watched a lot of things that were more boy-coded, for simplicity's terms,
There's a lot of shonen
and
back in the day, so yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, lots of superheroes and lots of sci-fi and lots of things that are typically made with the idea that the audience is male. And just a lot of the time that means there, one, aren't very many female characters existing at all. And when they are, they're not necessarily written very well, so there's not very much depth to them. And a lot of the time they're also just like really sexy for no reason. So I'm constantly looking for female characters that have a lot of depth, that can be like ugly and silly and weird and don't have to be sexy, and and get to be the main character and all that other shit, so I'm constantly looking for those. And so when something has that, it pretty much always just hits top for me.
That is so great. Yeah.
It sounds like we're getting a lot. I mean, not sounds. I think we're getting a lot of that nowadays.
Yeah, I like seeing the diversity.
I know. I love how much more we see of that now. It's great. Like, even K-pop Demon Hunters, for example, was great about that. Like, they were beautiful. Yeah. And they could be silly and gross and weird and crazy, and it was amazing.
It was amazing. I loved that movie so much.
It just felt more human, I think. Like, instead of just having this facade.
Exactly.
Even though they were putting on a facade towards their audience in that movie, and then when they had those walls down just to be themselves, couch, and then like them just being goofy and being in a hot springs together, or a
I love you
sauna.
guys so much.
Just cry, like just get emotional, and I'm like, just feels very human. So I like that we are getting stuff like that now. Yeah. And not just
I like seeing characters that have that depth, like characters that have to work for their power and stuff, that suffer through some shit, that can be humorous and silly, that just the variety, the depth, the realism, that's what I want, man.
Yeah, well said. Well put.
Yeah, so that's why the Spider anime is my favorite. Because she's one of the only anime female protagonists I've seen, like, really going through hell and being silly, but also sometimes serious, and really smart, but not like, I'm so smart, you're such an idiot. Just
you fell for my trap card.
Smart. Exactly. And of course, she's a spider, so she's not sexy.
Oh, I'm sure that
Yes,
they do. It's like slime, where they just like made a human form. You just spoil it for me
I'm
here.
not gonna spoil
No,
shit.
okay. Okay. They have to do a humanoid form of her. I bet. I haven't seen anything, so I don't know. But it's like what they did with like slime, with the slime anime.
Yeah.
Um,
No, actually, you probably should watch the anime with me because it's actually really confusing.
Oh,
They have
okay.
like this whole different timeline shit going on, and in the light novel, that's not really happening.
Ah,
Like, there's two
Interesting.
separate stories going on, but it's going on near the same time and goes through it. And if it doesn't happen at exactly the same time, it's very clear. Whereas in the anime, it just kind of bounces back and forth, and you're like, wait, was that referencing this other thing that happened for them a long time ago? You know?
oh man. Yeah, I can see how that
So,
would be confusing, especially for
yeah,
people who aren't expecting such a thing.
exactly. Yeah,
we
exactly.
need a backseat weep for this. So
Yes.
Backseat weeb.
we got Migi on board. So
The third wheel.
Yeah.
The backseat weeb.
All right, Migi. Who is your favorite anime character and why?
I think I just said that. That was why it was my favorite anime.
Yeah,
Was because of her.
But your anime character. It doesn't even have to be for that one, but if it is her, then
what's
you're
the spider's name? Is it just Spider?
Is it just Spider?
We don't find out her name for a long time, so
So
for
her-
a while the fan base called her Kumoko, which is the word for spider, but turned into a feminine name.
That's cute.
That's cute.
It's very cute. It's a cute, wonderful name, and I do love Kumoko.
So you're simping for that eight-legged being, then?
My heart yearns to be as cool and silly and lovely as the Spider Girl.
All
Slash already feels like they are, and I'm seen. You know.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
that answers the question.
It
Do you
does.
have any anime waifu or husbandos?
Oh my
If so,
God,
then who?
I gotta think of that because like there's so many cool anime characters and there's so many hot anime guys. That's part of why I've loved anime so much in my life actually. Was the fact that anime guys can also and tend to also be drawn really attractive, you know?
Oh yeah.
Whereas with a lot of other things like just normal TV and cartoons, the girl characters will be drawn pretty, and then the boy characters will be drawn ugly. And not only for just my sake as wanting eye candy, but also for the sake of why are you telling boys they're ugly? That's not fair.
Yeah.
Boys deserve to be beautiful too, you know?
Yeah, boy
Exactly.
power.
Everybody
Yeah.
deserves to be beautiful, and everybody deserves to be ugly and silly, and everybody deserves to just be lovable regardless of whether you're one of those two things, you know? And I feel like anime just does a better job of that with male characters, at least, you know?
It does. Yeah.
What if you had to choose one?
Well, I did obviously very much like Sebastian.
Michaelis? Ah! He's my.
He is very, very hot, but
He's
he's
nice.
also very, very scary.
That's why I love him. One of these.
I remember, I do remember, though I don't remember the anime perfectly enough, but I remember watching it with my mom. It's an anime called Black Blood Brothers,
Oh.
which, try saying that fast, it's very hard. Black Blood Brothers is a vampire anime, and there's the one main vampire guy. I can't even remember his first name, but his last name is Michizuki, which has, yeah. And I just remember that I liked him enough that my mom kept playfully teasing me and calling me Mrs. Michizuki. So
That's cute.
also, it was kind of like, it was a good anime, and I know it had a lot of like social and classes talk, like almost like a political talk about vampires in society and stuff. But it was also kind of ecchi in the fact that in that world, when vampires bit you, it was a pleasure better than having an orgasm.
Okay, that's not the first time I've heard of that in any sort of vampire tale, because I've heard a lot. But
she's looking the anime up right now just because she's interested
I see.
now.
You
Yeah.
also are a fan of the vampires.
I have been a fan of the vampires since before Twilight. So
Before she
Yeah.
was Team Edward.
However, okay, Team Edward in the books, Team Jacob in the movies. So all around.
I'm team let the
Switzerland.
girl have her harem of every boy.
Yeah.
Because vampires are hotter, but wolves are really cool. And as I think I've told you guys, I was actually raised with wolves. So I
Yeah.
personally actually know wolves and wolf behavior a lot better than a lot of movies do. They're wrong.
No, that is
They're
really
wrong.
badass.
They're incorrect. Wrong.
They are, including the Twilight ones. They're very wrong. They don't really know what wolves do and are like. Do you want this rant?
No,
Want the
go
wolf
on.
rant?
Do
Go
the
for
wolf
it.
rant. Go ahead. That's why we ask you
Alright.
these questions.
All right, wolf rant. So, you'll see in movies or even the like alpha male thing or whatever of like wolves being like so dangerous and aggressive and like having this alpha male and shit. Well, wolves as a whole, they're very annoying to like farmers or people that have small animals because they're opportunists,
Yeah.
but they act skittishly. Their nature is to be very introverted and stick with their own pack and hide from everybody and everything. They're not super aggressive. They're just really problematic when you have small animals and cause a lot of trouble. And of course, if you are alone and they're starving to death, they can attack you because they're opportunists
Yeah.
and they don't want to die from starvation.
Yeah.
It's not just because they're aggressive for no reason.
I think it's that last thing you just said is what people really base wolves on, because maybe they
Yeah.
don't fully realize that they're starving. They just see that they're scary and they will attack you.
Yeah. Well, and of course they work as a team,
Yeah.
which means they're really smart, which is also scary to people.
It's very
You know.
impressive.
And they are very smart. They're very mature and very smart. And the other thing with the whole alpha male thing or whatever is that was studied by having captive wolves that didn't really know each other. So it was more like studying people in prison and then that's deciding that's how people act normally.
Oh, that's interesting.
So alpha male is not a real thing. In a wolf pack, there is a mother and father of the pack. And they lead and care for everybody. And they do things like make sure everybody else eats first before they eat.
Like parents would normally do.
Like parents, yeah. They're parents.
That's
So
awesome.
wolves rule in pairs as parents.
Man, that's so
wolves
cool.
are great. Yeah, wolves are fucking awesome. Also, they smell really nice.
Oh, do they?
Yes, they do.
Oh, jealous.
They smell. Yeah, there's like, to me, of course, it also gives me a very cozy feeling because I mean, I grew up with them, but it's like this really smell of like the wild, but like I don't know how to describe this smell. It's a very naturey smell, you know, but like when it's like really good.
Yeah.
Like almost kind of like an herb kind of smell.
Yeah.
In a way.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You can smell like the earth and the greenery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would say the one last thing that's the big thing is the lone wolf thing. Wolves only go off to be alone when either they have a severe behavioral problem or mental problem and the pack has kicked them out.
Oh.
So it's not good. Or they're getting really old and they don't want to bring the rest of the pack down, so they wander off to die.
That makes sense.
So it's either you have a problem or it's really sad. So any alpha male lone wolf things are not knowing about wolves.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
No. Wolves are wonderful. I remember my little brother would climb up on top of things that were way too high when he was a baby and jump off, which was scary.
Yeah.
But our wolf, Luna, would go under him and lie down so that he would land on her and not hurt himself.
Oh, that
Yeah.
is so sweet.
Mm-hmm. So wolves are amazing.
Learn some new things about wolves.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Never would have known these things.
We have a wolf expert.
Heck
Mhm.
yeah.
You have a wolf expert.
All right, well, we got a couple more questions left before we wrap this all up.
So,
Absolutely.
are you currently watching an anime? And if so, what is it?
I started watching my Dress Up Darling.
Excellent
Yeah.
choice.
So, what do you think of
Yeah.
it so far?
I think it is so cute, and I love breaking of gender norm things. That's one of my favorite things in stuff
yeah.
in general.
Yeah, I really like seeing like Gojo who loves something he's never comprehended as, that's the first time he's ever seen something so beautiful.
With the Hina dolls?
The Hina dolls, I think that was a really cool thing, and he even opens up to Kitagawa about that in the show and the manga. I've read up to where we're at in season 2, but it's just nice seeing that she's like very understanding and cool with everything that
Yeah.
he likes in his life, and she's also interested in the things that he likes. And then he also is like learning new things about the world outside of the Hina dolls, which I really like seeing that. I think that's beautiful, and you'll see a lot more. And I don't know what episode you're on.
I don't know either, but I have it saved in my browser.
But
Excellent.
with season 2, you kind of get to see more people understand him and open up or be more accepting towards the things that he's doing and the things that he loves.
Good.
And I think that's really awesome to see.
Yeah, I feel like
especially-
that's really important, you know?
It is, and I love their relationship. I love that she falls in love with him.
I
Just-
know. She's like, I can't love this nerd. does.
And she does.
totally
I
does.
love that scene where you find out it's like him calling her beautiful while he's falling asleep.
I don't say that unless I mean it from the heart.
Yeah,
And then he calls her beautiful.
and I think
she's
I think that's when
Yeah.
she fell in love with him, being like, "Oh
I
my
think
god!"
that's when she fell in love with him.
Agreed.
And what's your favorite I guess cosplay she's done so far, up to where you're at? I guess that would determine.
I've only seen her do the first cosplay.
Okay, so you're probably coming up on the second one then, with the like the Sailor Moon-esque show in the show. I would imagine.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we have a couple figures of
Yeah.
Kitagawa and
Personally, I would do cosplay more if I had, access to that shit and time, but I don't.
Yes.
Because I also like wearing costumes. Costumes are fun.
Right?
Yeah.
I love costumes as well.
Oh, doggies, it's okay. It's okay.
They just also want to wear costumes.
Yeah. Lucy used to love wearing clothes, and now she's like too fat and warm for them.
Oh.
Like that's the last.
I can ask the last question, yeah. Would you consider yourself an otaku or a weeb? Or both?
Did you add that? Okay.
It says or weeb. You
sorry.
wrote that.
Weeb, whatever. It's like if you don't mind the term weeb. Some people find that offensive.
What would be the difference between those two things, in your opinion?
Now,
Honestly, I don't really have an opinion on
I
whatever
feel
it's
like
called. So.
Otaku versus weeb based on just how I.
Oh wait, no, I know this. Hold on. Now that I thought about it, I do know this because of an anime that explained otaku.
Hey.
Yeah. So it's a very, very adorable anime called Princess Jellyfish.
Oh, I love that anime.
Yes, and explains so well what otaku means.
It does.
You
Would
know?
you like to do the honors?
I can explain how I understood it, and then you can tell me if you had any other.
Oh yeah, I would love
Insights on
that.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. So to me, what I got from otaku is when somebody like obsessively loves something. Like it is basically their whole fucking life. It's like it's like when somebody has a really special interest, you know?
Oh yeah.
So I feel like it's really, really big and important, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like after watching that anime, I honestly felt sad that I didn't have anything I was that obsessed about in my life because it would be amazing. So I can't call myself an otaku because I don't feel like I'm that obsessively in love with it, you know? So I would just have to say a weeb.
A weeb, yeah.
I think weeb's
Yeah.
more of a general term of like
Yeah,
somebody
exactly.
being like in the Japanese, like loving the Japanese culture, loving specific things about it, and that is what I think is great about what we love about anime, manga, you know, light novels, visual novels, all that jazz, you know, and
Mhm.
all the all everything about the culture. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
honestly, weeb is probably the best term for us, and I think for you too. So
I was just gonna say, I feel like weeb is like sort of like that middle ground where you're more obsessed than like the average viewer, let's just say,
mhm.
like who maybe only
Mhm.
watch like the shonen stuff.
they
like,
watch
only ever
Dragon
watch
Ball.
Pokemon.
yeah, that kind of stuff. Or like being a weeb means like you're like into checking out like a majority of it. That you don't go full on obsessive, but you do
Yeah,
like
you probably know some Japanese phrases.
yeah.
Nani?
And then I think you covered otaku, like as well to my knowledge. I think
This is the first time, by the way, someone's ever mentioned Princess Jellyfish to you. So this is like this made your fucking night.
Yeah. That was
It's one of the
anime.
cutest little stories ever.
It is. I've been wanting to read the manga. I haven't yet, but I've seen the show, and I'm so sad there's not anymore. Oh boy,
Yeah.
that was a long time ago. I watched that.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
You
Yeah.
showed me that one. That one's really
Yeah.
good. That's the one with the man as a woman.
Yeah,
thing,
he loves dressing up.
like
as
dressing
a
up and
woman,
stuff. He's like a rich guy, right? He's like a
Yeah.
rich dude,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like in the family.
and
yeah.
the main character girl's obsessed with jellyfish. She's a jellyfish otaku.
He's a jellyfish.
And she has crazy eyebrows in the cutest way.
She
Eyebrows.
does. Yeah, she is so wonderfully portrayed, I think. That's the
Mhm.
wonderful, sweet, normal girl, looking girl, you know. Not everybody's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a supermodel. And then he comes
Exactly,
in
I
all
love that shit.
fabulous.
Doesn't he try
And I
Pretty
think-
That's
Woman?
part of
though?
why I loved it
Yeah,
so much,
yeah.
because there was a lot of female characters, and they were made to be more like character and less supermodel.
Yeah.
That was all our questions, though.
Yeah.
Did you have any you wanted to
Did I
throw out?
pass?
Or I think you passed. I think we
Yes.
can give you an SSR ranking on this one
Hell yeah!
because you were very true to your questions.
You're so genuine. and wonderful.
I do actually have a question,
Sure.
and I also have an answer for myself to give you an example of it. But my question is, how do you think anime has affected your life, like personally?
I think it's brought us closer. As
It's definitely been a bonding thing with not only my husband, like you just mentioned, but also like my mom and one of my brothers.
Aw.
So I feel like anime is like something that you could like enjoy with others and find like common ground there.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
I agree. I mean, like you said at the beginning of the questions, you know, like it's something that's connected with you specifically, Migi. I'm sure this might be somewhat of your answer, so I'm kind of taking it away from you now. But you know, like connecting it with your mom, I think that's such a beautiful thing to like associate it with, and that will always stay with you forever and stick with you. And you'll probably have many anime experiences that you didn't mention today, but you know, down the line you might mention it. But you know that you experience with your mom, and I think that's very beautiful. So you got to share those, and those are memories that will never fade away.
Those will last a lifetime.
Yeah.
Another thing I would like to say about anime is that I feel like it really shows like how we're all the same. You know, like it doesn't matter like what country or nation or race you are. We all love amazing stories. We all want to be entertained by something beautiful.
And we all want to have cooler colored hair.
We all want to be the protagonist.
Maybe I want to look like Hinata one day. I swear to God, I'll make it happen.
But yeah, I think it just makes me find countries that I probably never would have really gave much thought about. Like I'll find them much more beautiful now that I've seen them interpreted in like an animated form.
I really like what.
So anime literally makes the real world more beautiful for you.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, I was, homeschooled, and I honestly was pretty much just home most of the time in my life. That's just how I've been. So kind
Yeah,
of
me too.
raised by television.
Yeah.
Anime was a nice break from a lot of other kinds of stories,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
and it had a lot more variety. What animation does is it emphasizes certain features while de-emphasizing other features. And for some animation styles, that's emphasizing the ugliness or weirdness, and then they de-emphasize whatever makes something pretty. They do tend to do that with male characters a lot. And then with anime, of course, it's intentionally emphasizing the prettiness and things that we all like and gravitate towards. And then it literally just draws your attention to that, so that's something you focus on more. So I think it does literally make the real world prettier. Like, the real world is uglier, but also it's prettier than it was,
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
I totally agree. It's like you just
Yeah.
gotta find the beauty in it.
Yeah. And then, of course, for me personally, anime is just my art style has always been inspired by anime. So
Amazing.
It definitely
I've
shows
always,
in this episode.
yeah, well,
You can
just
see
like
a
just
perfect
as
example.
I've learned art throughout the years, I look at things and I go, I really like how they drew that. I'm going to draw it like that now, and a lot of that came from anime.
Yeah.
It's just like a way of making someone recognizably them, pointing out their best features, I think
Yeah.
was it's one of the things that I pride myself on, is making art of people and making it recognizably them without taking away their flaws, but emphasizing what's good about them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing what some artists do, where they just, instead of drawing someone overweight, they'll suddenly draw them skinny. I'll
Oh
still
yeah,
draw
no.
them overweight. You
Yeah.
can have them be attractive and overweight. It's like learning how to balance the emphasis on things. And I think I learned that from anime. A lot of it was just how they emphasized things differently than cartoons and stuff.
Yeah. You do a beautiful job with it. I want to say this is a little bit of a funny story. We showed my mom the artwork you made for our channel, and like each of us, and my mom was like, "Oh wow, she captured your boobs perfectly."
I told her specifically, keep them G cup. I mean,
Amazing.
she went a little lower, but
That was her first comment.
Honestly, that is the weirdest thing. I don't know why. But all of the women that I have done art for, of their characters or themselves, always compliment how well I draw the boobs. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just drawing physics. I don't know.
That's so impressive. You have a knack
It's
for
just so funny. All of the women are like, oh my god, you draw boobs so well. It's so funny to me.
Amazing. But yeah. I like how that's not like I like how that's like a normal thing. And you can even see boobs.
you're not the
being
last,
important.
and you
Oh, yeah,
you're not
yeah.
the first, and you're certainly not the
And
last.
you can see boobs have like an important role in anime too, because they're always
yeah.
like, how did you get them so big, or whatever, and other women being like self-conscious because they don't really have boobs, and I'm like, no, you should all be proud. Its size does
that's
not matter.
very sweet of you. I actually was always very self-conscious because of that.
Aw, my mom was too, because she calls herself part of the itty bitty
Itty-bitty-titty committee?
Yeah. And I grew boobs when I was really young, I guess. And I always heard jokes about how the boob fairy loved me.
The boob fairy.
The boob fairy.
Oh, hi, fairy-chan.
Yeah.
I can't contribute to this conversation.
Yes, you can. You can be like, I like boobs. All boobs are good.
I like boobs. All boobs are good. Yes.
he was never like particularly swayed by any sort of boobs before we got together.
And it all changed.
I made him a boob appreciator / connoisseur.
Everything changed when the Double D Nation attacked.
So
yeah,
sorry.
and see, my husband made me appreciate my boobs more.
See, that's nice. Everybody
Yeah.
needs to love their bodies.
Mhm.
Everybody's
I remember, like knowing that anime usually comes from like Japan and stuff, being like, I feel like that hurts even more. Like if I felt self-conscious and I just have, normal size boobs, then if Asian people on average tend to have smaller boobs,
yeah,
that's like extra mean.
that is extra mean,
Kind of like just spitting in their own country's face.
man.
I know.
So is there like anime sort of like wish fulfillment sort of like I really want to see a woman with big boobs, or I want to have big boobs or something like that. So they just make that the focal point.
Well, like Hunter, not Hunter, not Hunter Hunter. I was about to say Hunter Hunter for some reason. I was gonna say High School DxD probably has the big.
I was gonna say Hunter x Hunter has like 2 female characters.
Yeah, I don't remember. Like I only watched a few episodes
3.
with my sister.
I can think of 3 female
I can't
characters.
think of any.
If we're talking about like, since we're on the boob topic, I'm just gonna keep
Boob
this going.
talk!
I'm gonna keep going on to this one.
Oh,
I-
One Punch Man shirt.
I I really like how they done the boobs in Konosuba, just because it looks very realistic.
And they
Like-
span the sizes.
And they span the sizes, but like they're not wearing bras, and they're like kind of. I mean, if you look at the animation specifically, like around Aqua or like. Or even Darkness, when they're not wearing like the chest plate and stuff, they're literally like kind of sagging, which
They're just
kind of feels
hanging like
that's
these-
how you would look in an anime,
know.
and it looks good.
Yeah.
It doesn't look
It does look good,
unattractive.
I agree.
It looks great, and I love it for that. And I'm like, that's how you do boob physics, and also just boobs in general,
And if
in a
there's-
medieval fantasy style too.
and if there's any like crazy like boob movement in that show, is purely for comedy,
It's comedy.
unlike
Yeah.
in other animes.
That's why anime boobs are alive and make noises like.
Yes. But yeah, no,
Like
it drives
even
me
the
crazy.
slightest movement in some of the animes we've watched, it's like just jiggles like it's nobody's business.
One of my biggest like boob beefs in anime recently.
Boob
That's gonna
beefs.
be a segment in the show, like forever. Boob beefs.
Is in the literally like the opening song for the Shuinji family children, when the eldest sister like bends over and her boobs do this ridiculous movement. I'm like, boobs do not move like that. Not unless you're
Hey.
forcing them to. Like she would have to like do a weird
I
thing.
know.
It's
to
like a
get
whole
it.
thrust.
Okay, yeah.
One of the worst, I think it was something like Desert Punk or something. I don't remember exactly. But there's an ending scene where there's a woman in the background and there's like wind blowing her long hair, but it's also blowing her boobs in
Now
the wind.
that is so unrealistic.
It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my god! Are her boobs like as light as her hair? What's going on there?
I guess so, and they're individually wrapped.
Mhm.
That's just how physics work.
Yeah.
Boobs are
Unless-
not as light as anime seems to think they are.
Yeah,
Boobs are
no.
heavy.
They are
You
heavy.
could kill someone with a boob.
They will literally give you a hunchback if you don't keep your posture.
All right, is that the rest of our boob beef?
I will say, of course, that would probably work. But yes, I'm done with the
I was
boob
gonna say I guess we ended with boobs.
I guess we did end with boobs. So crazed! Would you like to start the next section of the podcast?
Yes, I would like to talk about our watch party segment that we did for this episode.
Oh, is this all gonna be one podcast? Just
Yes.
one really
Yeah.
long podcast.
Yeah.
Damn.
Do you have a problem with
I'm
that?
sorry, listeners. I'm sorry. This is so long. This is just how we talk to each other, like
Mm.
every night.
We've stayed up until midnight talking like this.
Yeah. For me, 1 a.m. So yeah.
Yeah, so later for you.
Well, I wanted to make this like a whole segment because it's like, hey, we wanted to watch something, and what we watched was Fooly Cooly together. That was my choice.
Fooly
I
Cooly.
chose it. It's a 6-episode run. I'm going to give a brief description about this show, and we can just
yeah.
go off of that.
I even wrote one down if you want me to
Um,
say that.
You know what? Actually,
You could give the regular the
So before we go into this, I want to have some context here. I love Fooly Cooly. I grew up with Fooly Cooly. Witchley,
Imagine admitting that.
Yeah, right.
or FLCL.
Yeah,
That's how
I
you
totally
also say the other term for this anime.
Yeah.
You have watched it a couple times too as well, Witchley, and then this is the first time that Migi has ever watched Fooly Cooly, and this is I find that is very fascinating. First, as a thing, it's not a slight, it's not a diss, it's not how could you have not watched Fooly Cooly now up to this point. I find it so very fascinating because we get to talk to someone who's never seen it before up until now.
We could say, in a sense, we found a unicorn, but in reality, she's a dragon.
Yes.
But I'm gonna say, how cool is it to like have that kind of range with like you, Craze, having seen it several times, or at least up to 3 times.
I've seen it several times.
Several times.
Yes.
So you got the best grasp on this anime compared to like me or Migi. I have only seen it twice. Once when I was very young, and now once as an adult. And this is Migi's first time ever watching it, and I like having that kind of like.
That's a variety of viewpoints.
That is. I dozed pretty hardcore during that last episode. So I don't really know what happened.
Well, we'll get to that, but I do all the questions that we have written down, and I don't know if Migi, if you have any you want to ask or talk about, but we have some written down, and I want you to answer them first, just because. And we can kind of go backwards. I think it'd be good. Like it would be which
who is Fooly Cooly?
That's actually that might be the first question. Is that the first question?
What is Fooly Cooly?
Oh shit! It's one of those. This was artsy, and it really meant this, and I'm just like,
I feel like it depends.
Big Rock? No, just mean Big Rock. I may be an artist, but I do not think poetically like that. To me, the show seemed like it was a lot of like the writers and creators kind of just having fun and going crazy and writing down like literally any idea that they had at any point in time. And then after they did that for a little bit, they were like, oh shit, maybe there's a story behind this. And then they kind of decided that there was also a background story, which is a pretty cool story, but it's mostly hidden by a lot of absolute random, drunken, drug-filled craziness. And also horniness.
Absolutely.
As B.
I remember as we were watching it, you were like, this is Japanese Looney Tunes.
Yeah, so here, okay, little side route here.
I could, yeah,
Connor,
I can see that with all the different expressions and like slapstick that went on.
Connor has always said that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was like Japanese Looney Tunes. And
no way, Looney Tunes was never so sexual.
After watching Fooly Cooly, I'm like, this is Japanese Looney Tunes. There's so much
Fooly
slapstick.
Cooly obviously had its horny bits, but yeah, it was so slapstick and like over.
Have you ever seen Bugs Bunny dressed up as a woman?
Fair. Okay, yeah, no, Fooly Cooly is perfect.
Yeah, Fooly Cooly.
Looney Tunes, Fooly Cooly. They both have their silly names.
Okay,
that's
how
it
have
is.
a little sexual appeal.
I'm not denying you on this.
Yeah, but that's my opinion. So you're allowed.
Grace just was like, I don't deny it. Bugs Bunny was indeed hot many times.
And did I simp for Lola the Bunny? Obviously, yes.
Every guy ever did.
Yeah.
Dude. She was single-handedly responsible for a lot of furries.
Did I watch Space Jam that many times until I burned the VHS tape? Yes, I did. Okay.
I did. Come on and Sam. I also have an answer for what is Fooly Cooly and what they mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll get to that a little later. But now I'm gonna say I have it written down, but I will say what is Fooly Cooly. And me, this is what I wrote. It's a sci-fi comedy about a 12-year-old Naota who's coming of age with an alien girl to throw a wrench in his daily life. That is what I wrote. That was
to throw a Vespa in his face.
A literal Vespa. Let's just be real.
Yeah. I should have wrote that. Oh,
did you not write a literal Vespa? You were on the wrong page.
So here's So I was reading my rough draft. So pretty much what I said. But a Vespa riding, electric guitar wielding alien Haruka. That was what I wrote.
Nice.
That's a good description.
And I also wrote strange things come out of his head, and Haruka battles him.
That's
Fucking weird,
that's
dude.
essentially
Yeah.
what FLCL is. I mean, I'm gonna read the description that I have here. This is obviously online, so you can look this up anywhere.
And
Probably.
this is probably close to what exactly you would probably tell us though.
The series follows Nandaba. I'm not
Nandaba?
gonna
I don't know.
butchered that. A young boy who
Good at it.
experiences a bizarre encounter with Haruhara, a woman who hits him with a guitar and a Vespa. They don't say that in here, causing a horn to grow from his head, from which robots emerge. That's basically the description. There's a lot more to that, but obviously I think that's the best description you could give on this 6-episode series.
Give people the main gist of what's going on. Yeah.
There is a lot of words you can throw at this show. It's slapstick comedy. It's sci-fi. It's weird. It's a lot of things.
So
yeah, go on.
is one of the questions you're going to ask me how much I liked it or how I felt about it?
Oh yeah, but that's later on. I have a what did you like about it? And
I
what
think
did
we
you
could say that
dislike about
first.
it?
Let's
Yeah.
ask, what did she think? What did you think of FLCL / Fooly Cooly?
Yeah, what did you like?
Because I wanted to give you my honest opinion.
Be as brutal as you need to be.
I liked it and I didn't like it.
I get that.
Now expand upon that, because I'm really interested on hearing
All right.
this.
Well, I loved the animation and everything being like really exaggerated, and I love me a zany female character, aka the typical like a manic pixie dream girl or whatever, which they use as a negative, but I think that character archetype is great. So I like that, and I like the robot designs, and I think that there were a lot of times where it was really funny, you know?
Yeah.
What I didn't like about it was that sometimes it felt too disjointed and too all over the place and needed a little bit more structure for me. And then that they're not always, but sometimes with anime when it's older like that, there's like a certain quality to like the background music and the way it's written and the visuals that just aren't as pleasing to me as a lot of other anime things are.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's what I would say.
Alright.
So, Witchley, do you like Fooly Cooly? Or
Okay,
what
so mine actually relates to my interpreted theme of the show.
so do you want to wait?
So yeah, I'll probably wait on my likes and dislikes until I can talk about it.
I feel like, yeah, my answer would probably be around my feelings and thoughts about it. Otherwise, I'm getting
So did
into.
you want to like come back around?
I want to
this
come
question?
back around to that question. So,
All right.
what's our next question then?
All right. I wanted to ask you guys: who do you perceive as the protagonist, and who do you perceive as the antagonist?
I think sort of Migi answered this question a
Yeah.
little bit with her first question or the last question. So, I mean, you can expand upon that more though. Oh, I thought you meant. I thought you thought Haru was a little bit of a chaotic evil here.
Yeah, she is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is that
She's
what
the very likable antagonist.
yeah.
But you think she's protagonist for a while.
I feel
Like part of the protagonist. I mean, obviously, she's not the main character protagonist. That's Naota?
Obviously Naota.
Yeah, Naota he's the main character.
He's the main character,
Yeah.
but that doesn't always mean that you're the protagonist. But I do feel like in
Fair
this
enough.
story, even though he can be very unlikable at times, he is the protagonist, and
Yeah.
she is definitely the villain in this story.
She's like the devil
Oh, yeah.
on his shoulder sometimes that
Yeah.
you often see.
Yeah.
I have another like phrase for that, but that gets into the next question.
I mean, I would agree with that too.
Yeah.
Just because of how chaotic she kind of comes into not just his life but other people around him in the town, and kind of affects their, I wouldn't say their decision making, but their choice. I guess it actually no it is the choices that they make, and their thoughts and feelings on the matter, on what's going around them. I think she has her fingers in all those pies. So
I mean, I thought that was pretty clear, because just because someone is likable and fun and able to be nice doesn't mean that they're the good guy.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why they were confused, is because of that. Because she can be likable. She isn't usually nice, but she can be, you know?
Yeah.
She does give
And
really
she's
good.
not directly hurting him, like in a... She is hurting him. Never mind. She beats him up all the time.
With a Vespa
like-
and a guitar.
Yeah. But like, in anime that happens a lot, even when they're the good guys and stuff. You can playful, almost sibling-like behavior, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it's very clear, especially as you get on, that she's just doing everything completely for herself. There's no secret heart of gold. She's, you know, a fugitive, and she absolutely deserves to be considered a fugitive. It's not the pirate with a heart of gold kind of thing. She really doesn't care about him.
True.
And that's what makes her actually the villain.
She does give out some good advice towards Naota in the show. Like one episode particularly that I really like is episode 4, where he has to swing the bat. And that episode really sticks with me because of the words she says to him, being like, "You won't know unless you swing the bat. Like, you won't know if you don't take that first step."
Yeah, it's like the thief or the grifter giving someone else some good advice that they kind of wish that they had, but they're still a thief or a grifter.
Exactly.
What was your take on the main theme of the show?
I feel like they were trying to have some deeper meaning with the whole like giant iron and like wanting to smooth out the wrinkles of humanity and stuff, which was like a deeper thing in there, which I thought was actually kind of cool. Clearly a lot of it was about puberty.
That is
like a lot of it.
That is there.
Yeah.
And I think that whoever created it was one of those guys who really likes aggressive women. Like they're the sub for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
So there was a lot of that. I think some of it was just about just having like a normal life, like in Japan, just with like normal life troubles and just dealing with things being boring, but then having some moments that were exciting and different, and then maybe kind of like lamenting the loss of that because your life is so boring otherwise.
I really like that point of view.
Yeah, there's like a lot of moments where you see Naoto being like, "It's just a boring town, and it's my boring life."
Nothing
and
exciting ever happens.
he says that.
Yeah.
And
he just lives with like his dad and his grandfather in this like shitty little bread store, and they're constantly doing chores, and you know, like I can feel that kind of like real low income house where you're just constantly working,
Oh,
you know?
mm-hmm.
The kind of boring, not fun life.
I really like your thoughts on it because I like it. Just seems I don't know. I just really like how like I didn't even look at that and think it that way. I might have gone a little too deep.
I think we all three have
watch it.
different interpretations on the
Yeah,
show,
we do.
which I think it even speaks more for itself. So
I'm like, oh, this is so refreshing. Like it's like dealing with boredom and the excitement that comes, and I like that. But yeah, my take on it personally was like I think it was like, yeah, the main theme was probably puberty, and how turbulent it can be, and like your emotions and everything could be very chaotic, and you don't understand them as a teenager because it's such a weird time. And I feel like Haruka, she was sort of like that, like sudden sexual awakening or something in him. She hit him with a Vespa, literally, and I feel like that's how quickly it like hit him. Is like trying to understand what these new feelings were because they're so foreign. He was just a kid a moment ago, and now
They're so foreign.
yeah,
Alien
they're
to him.
alien to him. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's like a coming of age story and how turbulent it can be to transition into an adult. So that was like my main take on Fooly Cooly. Because I feel like, yeah, you get like the slow, boring moments. You get this like crazy stuff that doesn't make sense. That is
And all kinds of weird, horny stuff.
Oh yeah, your hormones are
puberty.
going crazy. You think about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like even that one scene where you see like it's implied that he killed his dad even though he didn't. And I hear that's like a huge coming of age thing for like men. It's like you gotta kill your dad in order to become your own man, like metaphorically. And it's like, oh wow, they included that into this anime. So yeah, I just really felt like it was like him like trying to deal with all these weird new emotions and the hormones. And obviously Haruka did not make that easy. There's always going to be some issues, especially in your teen years. It's going to feel like everything, like to make it or break it. So, whether you win or lose.
Weight of the world on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Kind of shit.
Even though it's not really there on your shoulders. But it feels like it. That was my interpretation. That's what I personally felt this last time watching it. First time I watched it, I was 9. I had no clue what I was watching.
I think that that's a good way for me to kind of like talk about this show. In my opinions on it, there's a lot of things you can. I'm trying to like piece my words a little bit better. So I love this show for a lot of things, and I think the pacing is one of them. After watching it so many times, I think this show warrants multiple rewatches. Which I find it very fascinating just to get what you got out of this show, Migi, and what you interpreted. And it's very fascinating because you've only seen it once, and you liked some things and you did not like some things, and that's totally okay. I had that same thought too as I circle back to this, where I did not like this show first watch. I didn't understand it. It was goofy. It was slapstick. It was just out of the blue. It was unconventional. Something I've never seen before. 6 episodes, very fast. Comedy was all over the place. When I was a kid, when I watched this, I didn't know half the jokes as I do now, obviously, and understand some of the subtle, sexual foreshadowings that you guys are hinting at as well. And what exactly is Fooly Cooly? That's an answer that doesn't get really, or that's a question that doesn't get answered at all. And there's a lot of questions that don't get answered in this show. And I think that's fine. I think, because this is made by Gainax, the same studio that makes Evangelion. What I really, and I'm kind of going to Evangelion, but like, I really feel like, with Evangelion, you really have to like think about that show. You really have to be, I would say, and this is not a slight, but I think you have to be smart when you watch that show. I think with this show, I think you can shut your brain off. I think you can just have a good time and just kind of just go along for the ride. And I think you can also still feel things. There's a lot to feel in this show when they have a moment to tell that. Apart from you're feeling happy, you're laughing, they deal with I think they blend the comedy and the seriousness sometimes in this show really well. Like, it doesn't feel like one is over the other more. Like, it feels like, there's a lot of comedy, but there's also moments when they're having a serious topic or having a conversation, and it doesn't feel like one's overshadowing the other. I feel like it's a good balance. And I'm usually one for pacing too. I really like slow anime as I gotten older. When I was much younger, I really liked the fast-paced stuff. I liked 2 muscle men going over 9,000 and beating each other up. But I think over time, I've just appreciated a slow story where you could just tell a story at your own pace. And this does not do that. not at all. And I think that's a plus to it, though. And I still enjoy it because it picks... It doesn't, it's not answering the questions you want, but it's making you feel something along for this ride. I feel like this story is a coming of age story. It's about adolescence. It's about a kid who wants to feel like a grown-up sometimes. Or most of the time, he has feelings towards his brother's ex-girlfriend, or however you want to interpret that. That's my interpretation. You know, the one that smokes all the time. I think her name is Mina Me or something. I'm probably butchering or got the wrong.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have those feelings toward him. She still loves his brother, though there's this weird, uncomfortable relationship between the two of them, where she is very, very close to him physically, but also also leaving hickeys on him. And he's okay with that because I think it's some unrequited love with him for her that she can never reciprocate back because she has feelings towards somebody else. It's like I like seeing this chaotic evil kind of roll into town and something that he's never experienced before and wants to be an adult and wants to be on her level, Haru's level, and he'll do anything it takes to be on that level. And you can see that by the end of with episode 5 and episode 6, where he runs away with her in episode 6 to live on the streets while she does her own thing. Like he's just trying to. I know, and I know Witchley, you slept through this, so you don't remember the last episode as well. But you can see he tries to be on her level because he wants to be grown up. And in episode 5, he's all cocky because he's like, "Oh, I can handle this. I'm an adult."
And I can do this.
And I think by the end of the episode, you realize that he's just a kid who still needs to learn things, and he learned a lot, I think, from this experience. There's more seasons to FLCL that I really don't acknowledge, and you can watch those if you want. They came back almost 20 years later to make these other shows where the only main character that came back was obviously Haru, the Vespa wielding. Guitar wielding character, and she kind of just goes to other towns to deal with other situations, and you just meet other characters what she affects in their life. So I didn't really vibe with those. It doesn't feel like it has the same charm.
Didn't they also make a gender bent one?
I believe so.
Wow.
But I can't. I didn't watch those. I mean, I think I watched the first 2, and then they made 2 more, and I'm just I'm didn't click with these 2. So I really love what they do with these 6 episodes. I mean, each episode feels different animation. The animation is stunning. It still holds up to this day. It is old. There is no denying that. There is very old themes that they shove in here that are very uncomfortable to watch.
Well, you sort of also answered the what do you like and dislike about the show, right?
Sort of. I mean, it's hard to dislike this over time as I've watched it several times. Yeah. I just love everything that they've done, except some of the memes that they've kind of shown.
Created.
It just doesn't sit well after 25 years. It's oof, So, but other than that, I mean, the more I watched it over the years and picked up on these things, it's only taken me till my second time watching it was from a friend that said, "Hey, this show's great," and I'm like, "Well, I watched it once and I didn't really like it, and then I sat on it when I was much older after that. I was in my teen years.
Yeah.
I was much older. I was in high school, and now I understood some of these things."
Maybe with all of your knowledge now, you can answer the greatest question. What is Fooly Cooly? I actually have a kind of an interpretation after saying my thoughts and hearing your thoughts on what Fooly Cooly could mean. So clearly, I would say that the main overarching theme of stuff is puberty for this. Clearly that. In that case, Fooly Cooly, when watching the show, it clearly had a lot of sexual tone to it a lot of time.
Yeah.
They were saying it as if it was sex, but then it's also not that. And I feel like it's kind of just a stand-in for what it means to be an adult. In a puberty kind of way, because the adults are the ones, especially his dad, they're the ones talking about it all the time as if they know what it is, but they also kind of don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So it's something that's enigmatic,
that makes sense.
but that is kind of got this positive, cool, you're better for being able to do it kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Or have it. So I think it's kind of the enigmatic what adulthood is.
Yeah.
Like, just what does it mean? Well, it's Fooly Cooly.
I did, like, especially when they were being obnoxious with those manga panels that first time, and they were like, Fooly Cooly this, Fooly Cooly that. I was all like, okay, so this is like a very adult action. It's like maybe the equivalent of like having sex or being able to buy alcohol or smoking cigarettes legally and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
doing
it
this
gives that vibe. I think it's literally like, for lack of a better term, like adulting.
Yeah. The stuff that
You know,
It almost sounds
more
like
acceptable
freedom.
when you're an
Like
adult.
this is like the freedom that a kid can't have.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah,
you're too
yeah,
young to
it's
experience those
what it
things.
means to be an
Yeah.
adult. You know,
Yeah.
that kind of freedom, power, sexuality, things you're not allowed to have or not allowed to do,
Right?
you know, until you're an adult.
Yeah. That's when it becomes acceptable to do those things.
And that's why they can like kind of like tease him and also kind of be proud of him and being like, oh my god, he got that Fooly Cooly, he's doing the Fooly Cooly, you know, that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I think we cracked the code. I think we get the Nobel Prize
code?
out of this this podcast, guys.
See, sometimes all it takes is a little bit of a philosopher meeting.
Is there anything else we want to talk
No,
about?
I didn't really go into like my likes or dislikes.
Well, go on. Let's talk about it. Like, what did you not like, and what did you like about the show?
So
After only watching it
having a
twice.
few days to sit on it now, like my opinion has changed a wee bit. But like I will say, I enjoyed what we watched, and I appreciate how chaotic it was because I feel like that is very puberty centric. Is because that's like the most chaotic time in your life. Yeah, I mean, when you're an adult, you're going through completely different issues, but at least you don't have like the raging hormones and the confusions on the way you feel about like just sort of basic things. So I appreciated that it was chaotic, and yeah, I did think it was like Japanese Looney Tunes. But like I felt like that was a good thing for this show. I felt like it could pull that off. At first, I did not like how the father like just put on like a Nazi like coat with the swastika. I was like, ooh, that's a bit in poor taste. But then I realized that probably plays in hand with the whole him killing his father, like metaphorically thing, because his father's the bad guy. The father's always the bad guy when you're a teenager, right?
Right, even though he's not necessarily
not-
a bad guy.
Exactly. He could be like the best guy on the planet, but he's still the bad guy.
In Naoto's
And
eyes.
he's embarrassing.
Yeah. So
And he's embarrassing.
You gotta
Big
beat the
big
evil.
factor for parents.
Yeah. So I grew to appreciate that over the last few days.
After sitting on it.
Yeah. Because that was like my big dislike. It was a bit shocking. I was like, oh, and I was like, well, actually, it all really makes sense now that I've had time to sit on it and think of it. So I can't really think of anything that I really dislike about it. I think, like, that is just Fooly Cooly, and I appreciate it for what it is.
Can I throw out one more question?
Absolutely.
Because I would be remiss to not talk about this, but the music of this show is fantastic. It's how I actually got into Japanese rock, and just like finding, this is the first time I ever found out about a band outside of America for me. The Pillows is what they're called. They did the entire soundtrack to this show. I wanted to know your guys' thoughts on the music choices on this, because like to me, I feel like the music is the greatest asset to this show. That made it feel more like a musical to me, in a sense, but with the music of the show. So I wanted to know your guys' thoughts on the music.
Well, I did like the intro and outro music. And I did like the music, but I felt like that was one of the things that was like more of an old anime thing. Like there were just times where there was just music playing a little bit loud for no real reason when nothing was happening, you know?
Yeah.
And I found that kind of weird.
Now, I think I personally like really loved it because to me, like because it's like a older anime being like, of course, early 2000s when it came out. I feel like it captured the time perfectly because that's what it was like back then.
Yeah, it feels like it had like a mix of like what Nirvana was and maybe what Weezer is.
Like
Together, you know,
smushing them
like
both
smushing,
together.
and I think
Weezvana.
I
Nerveezer.
wanted to talk about this.
I love
The
it.
music
I
is
love
like
that
what
you
I
brought it up.
love the most about this show, and I wanted to like kind of. I'm surprised I didn't mention it up until now. But
Well, I hope you don't feel like I shit on it or something.
no, and I want
That's the
you to.
great thing.
I want
have
you
your own
to.
opinion.
You have your own opinions and things, and that's why I wanted you to talk about it first because I really. Again, I find it so
We don't want to
fascinating.
make you feel bad if we say stuff first before you get your say. And for two, we want to know your genuine thoughts.
Especially for someone who's only watched it once. I'm very fascinated the most on that. Just like somebody's opinion that's got to experience this for the first time and hasn't ever watched this up until this point. So I think it made it it made this really enjoyable just to hear your take, Witchley's take, who's seen it only a handful of times.
Oh, this was my second viewing, and I missed
So
the
a couple-
last episode.
So a couple times, but then I've watched it so many times that I've come to love the beauty of this show. The one thing I want to say about Fooly Cooly is like I will always think about this anime because it is so weird. It's so different. It's so different from anything else I've watched growing up. Like this thing will stick with me forever. I hope it sticks with you guys too, and you'll remember it as such, as this weird anime that exists in its own little world. Because like I've watched so many anime. We've all watched so much anime, but you can't.
We just did a school quiz on it. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like I haven't put that much thought and quizzing into most of my anime viewing experiences, so kind of be hard to forget it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I love so much about this, that it's going to stick with me till the end of my days.
I have especially remembered the Vespa.
The Vespa.
My first viewing. And the ending song.
It's alive.
Yeah. So those are like literally the two biggest takeaways that I took when I was like 9 years old. And now as an adult, I think I'll take so much more.
That's why I was looking at a big ass list.
I think it'd be neat for me and Chris to do that and try to.
That's a
figure out
daunting
all the
task,
anime we watched.
but I think that would be very entertaining to like just look at a list.
And
See if-
Migi took the time. We should take the time.
She did take the time. It only feels right we do the same. But you got one more question to wrap this all up?
Okay, yes. Now, would you recommend this show to others?
I feel like I would need to know if they liked older anime, if they liked anime that was a little bit more unhinged and off the walls, and or if they specifically had a fetish for aggressive women.
Yeah. I have a similar answer.
And yes.
It's maybe. It depends on the person.
I was just trying to give more specifics of it. The person would need to have these traits.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It
And-
saved me from having to say all that.
And I can say the same thing, but like I would have to know the person enough to be like, I understand how weird this is. I feel like you have.
Or I guess in my case it was more, this anime is really weird and I just want to know what she's gonna think about it. It's not, oh, I know that they like this kind of weird shit. It was I just want to know what she's gonna do.
Right?
the,
How is she gonna like this?
the one thing I said to you, Migi, before we started watching it is that this is the anime that I think other people that don't watch anime think of when we say we watch anime. Like
Which kind of has a negative like,
it sounds like a negative,
taste
but
to it.
Yeah.
Like anime? That's what they're thinking of.
exactly, and that's what I think of whenever I think about this show. If I know somebody likes anime, I definitely would mention this or even recommend it. So I think it just has to be like if we're all in this the own zeitgeist of what anime is, this is something I would definitely recommend, but not to a total stranger I walk up to and be like, that does not like anime.
It just happens sometimes.
It
Yeah.
happens, and it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. This is definitely not everyone's cup of tea. I can tell from your guys' conversations you had dislikes and likes.
Yeah.
Um,
It was a cup of tea. It was alright.
It was definitely a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And
It wasn't my favorite tea, but I'm not gonna, not drink it if it's offered, I guess.
but you're definitely going to think about this anime probably for a while, which is probably the goal I wanted in mind.
One that
Perhaps,
makes you sit there and think.
it's gonna be in there. I'm gonna remember it better than a lot of other anime.
And I think that's the main thing I want everyone to take away of this walking out. It's like, you're going to remember this
Right.
probably for the rest of your life. You're probably not going to forget about this experience that you've had. That
Okay,
is
well,
Fooly
I
Cooly.
won't forget about it. I feel like it's not gonna stick with me as much as it clearly sticks with you, because I think when it comes to that, like, clearly this has like something to you. It connects with you in some way. And I think that things stick with people differently, and we
Mhm.
don't even always know why they stick with us so strongly, and it clearly sticks with you very strongly,
Mhm.
and I don't think I have that kind of attachment to it like you do, but I'm not going to forget about it, so don't be sad.
I think that's a podcast.
I think that is a podcast. This is
And that's the podcast.
this has been really fun talking about this.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have a third person kind of just
Bringing in a whole new perspective.
Yeah.
Is awesome.
it's great. So
Yeah.
thank you for joining us on this. It is this wild ride that is Fooly Cooly. And
Yeah.
but if you guys all enjoy this, let us know down in the comments below or email us
Yeah.
over at Weeby Simpin Podcast.
We have an email.
Yes, we do. And if you guys want to give us questions, thoughts, suggestions, we would be happy to talk about it on the podcast as a segment at some point once I have enough, feedback. That would be nice. So let us know down there. We're over on Spotify. Check us out over there. Leave a review. It helps us out. So that's it. I don't know what our next topic is for next time, but we will.
Oh.
We'll figure it out. We've got time.
We do got the
Absolutely.
time,
Yeah, mata.
which means.
See you later.
All right.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.